There is little question that some voters were prevented from casting their ballots because of targeted voter suppression.
Margaret Hang from the Southern Poverty Law Center says the 2020 election was like no other, and that voters, especially of color, battled suppression, intimidation, and a virus. The report said no state really did enough to ensure that voters were not asked to choose between their health and their vote, but still there was a record turnout.
Sadly, some elected officials across the Deep South don't see the historic turnout as a reason to celebrate our democracy. Instead, they see it as a reason to threaten our democracy through onerous laws.
A slew of new proposed election laws are being promoted by Republican lawmakers as a way to ensure confidence in the system. But the report says there have long been efforts to deny black voters access, especially in the South. And while the tactics have changed, the goal remains the same.
You know, Georgia is the worst of the worst. The Georgia legislature has promulgated over 50 bills that seek to restrict access to the polls and would mainly affect voters of color and voters with disabilities.
Advocates also cited new restrictions on the use of absentee ballots.
We're concerned that with restrictions on early voting or other vote by mail opportunities, that people simply are not going to be able to vote.
Advocates claiming efforts now by states to change laws are an overreach.
Conservative lawmakers have spent decades working to make it harder to cast a vote, and now they're trying to go even further.
The report calls for passage of two bills, including one named for the late Congressman John Lewis, to ensure voting rights are protected. Joanne Merrigan, WSAV, News 3 on your side.